Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Allah. La ilaha illallah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Ahmaduhu wa asta'inuhu wa astadihi wa astaghfiruhu wa umminu bihi jalla wa ala wa la akfuruhu wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. As-salahu bil huda wa din al-haq liyadhhiruhu ala din kulihi walau karihal mushrikun. All praise belongs to Allah. We praise Him. We seek His help, His assistance, and His guidance. We believe in Him and do not disbelieve in Him. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is a servant and messenger. Allah sent him, that is Muhammad, with Deen al-Haq, the religion, the way, the methodology of truth, and this way of life known as Islam will rise to its proper position in this world, whether the mushriks like it or not. Amma ba'd, فَإِنَّ أَصْدَقَ الْحَدِيثِ كِتَابُ اللَّهِ وَأَوْطَاقَ الْأُولَى كَلِمَةُ التَّقْوَى وَخَيْرُ الْمِلَالِ مِلَّةُ إِبْرَاهِيمَ وَخَيْرُ السُنَنِ سُنَّةُ مُحَمَّدٍ صلى الله عليه وسلم وأشرف الحديث ذكر الله وأحسن القصص هذا القرآن وخير الأمور أوزموها وشر الأمور محدثاتها وأحسن الهدي هدي الأنبياء وأشرف الموت قتل الشهداء وأما علامة دلالة بعد الهدى وخير الأعمال ما نفع وخير الهادي ما أتباع وشر الأمة أما الكلب. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. Allah commands justice and the doing of good and liberality to kith and kin, and He forbids all shameful deeds and injustice and rebellion. He instructs you that you may receive admonition. فَمَنْ يُرِيدِ اللَّهُ أَنْ يَهْدِيَهُ يَشْرَحْ صَدْرَهُ لِلْإِسْلَامِ. Those whom Allah in His plan willeth to guide, He opens their breast to Islam. Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu attaqullaha haqqa tuqatihi wa la tamutuna illa wa antum muslimun. O you believe, fear Allah as He should be feared, and do not die except in a state of Islam. Wa tasimu bihablillahi jami'an wa la tafarraqu. And hold fast altogether by the rope which Allah stretches out for you, and be not divided amongst yourselves. Kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat lin-nasi ta'muruna bil ma'rufi wa tanhauna 'anil munkar وَتُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ. You are the best peoples raised up for mankind, enjoining what is right, forbidding what is wrong, and believing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم وأتممت عليكم نعمتي رضيت لكم الإسلام دينا. This day have I perfected for you your religion, completed my favor upon you, and have chosen for you Islam as a religion. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, this day have I perfected for you your religion and completed my favor upon you and chosen for you al-Islam adina. In other words, there's no addition and there's no subtraction and there's no need for any updating of Islam, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala instructing his prophet, this day have I perfected for you and completed my favor upon you, and I have selected for you. Istafa or Mustafa is one selected or chosen. In this case, the Arabic word is istafa. I have chosen for you, I have selected for you Islam as a way of life. And as long as you use your Islam, you will never be misguided. As long as you use Islam for your hopes, your dreams, and your aspirations, you will never be disappointed. In that, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for another opportunity to approach you at this time. Aqula qawli hadha wa astaghfirullah li wa lakum. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala khairul mursaleen Muhammadin an-Nabi al-Ummi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd, yaqulu Allahu ta'ala fil Quran al-Kareem, inna Allaha wa malaikatuhu yusalluna ala nabi ya ayyuha alladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu tasliman. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Maulana Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And tauban kala Rasulullahi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, min abdin muslimin yakulu iza amsa wa iza asbaha thalathan raditu billahi rabban bil islam adina wa bi Muhammadin sallallahu alayhi wa sallam nabiyan ila kana haqqan Allahi an yarditu yawm al-qiyamah. It's related on the authority of Thawban radiallahu anhu that the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, if a Muslim says the following supplication 3 times in the morning and in the evening, Allah has made it incumbent upon him, that is upon himself, to please him on the doomsday. I am satisfied with Allah as Lord. Islam is my religion, and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as his messenger. We've been reading this as a preamble to our khutbahs, or especially the second khutbah, because there's a very important message in it As we go along in a new phase that we're in, whether perceptible or imperceptible, we suspect that we'll be traveling in some different territorial realms. And therefore, we want to make it very clear each time that no matter what we say, we have our core understanding. Like we open with Al-Yawm Akmaltu Lakum Dinakum. Allah is saying, I have perfected my religion for you and chosen for you Al-Islam Adina. In this case, it's a hadith that if you recite certain things, I am satisfied with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as Lord. I'm happy with that. That means that we have to be clear, because as we move forward and we're traveling in some territorial realms that a lot of people are not comfortable with, we just want to make certain things clear over and over again. That we are satisfied with Allah as Lord, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the messenger. Now, we're here in America. If you go all around this area, you'll find that the less attended masjid in this region, even if it's a little box, this is the less attended. It hasn't always been like that. At one time, this was the fullest. You'd come here, people would be hanging out the door. Well, what's going on? Something is going on because of the principles we have adopted here. We're going to stick with them. The more people run away, the more we know that we're on the right road. Because it's the Quran, hadith is like that. The more they run away, the more we stick into what we're doing. Why? It's got to, historically, that's been the reality. If the group and everybody is sitting over there, like some people, they go to these big centers, which we love them, but I wouldn't want to be sitting up in there with them. Everybody's teeth is chattering, their knees is shaking, and they are afraid. At the same time, there's a global war going on, and the aim of that war mainly is to fight against Islam. And there are certain things as fard kifaya, and then there's fard ayn. Fard kifaya is if somebody, like for instance, doctors. If there's no doctors in the Muslim area, then it's haram, because that's a natural part of. So at that time, it would be fard ayn for us to develop doctors. If there's a jihad necessary, and the region that you're in is not heavy in Islam. Wait a minute. They're heavy in Islam. They're super ritualistic, and they're doing all the farida, no doubt about it. And the Muslims and all the other centers are good people. But they're missing one part of the struggle here. Around the world, there's a struggle against Islam. Some people, whether it's in Yemen, whether it's in Iran, wherever there's a people fighting against it, standing up for Islam in Africa, in Asia, all over the world. So for us here in America, it is fard kifaya for us to stand up for Islam here. Fard kifaya, that means it is necessary for us to stand up here for Islam. although it might be the most uncomfortable policy. I'm not going to use words like cowardice and all of that. That's not necessary. I'm not going to use terminology like our so-called great institutions like CARE and Muslim, whatever they call themselves, Muslim legal something or other. Well, everybody on them, I know the one, the Muslim Legal Fund of America, everybody on there is ex-DAs and all that. And the way they dress, the way they talk, and the way they raise money, filling up money, and then the guys get up there and said, I was going to be a Christian minister, but I changed my mind for Islam. To me, I love what he said, La ilaha illallah Muhammadan Rasulullah, but his behavior shows that he has become a subversive. He's doing exactly what he set out to. He's a Christian saying that he's a Muslim because the Muslims are slow. The immigrant Muslims are slow, very slow. Why? Because when they reach out for Muslims here, years ago, it used to be me and you, black people. Oh, it's just a shock to find Muslims here in America. But now, the Muslims have got here comfortably, and the ones that are looking for dawah and outreach is for the European. So you look on everything and you'll see Texas Muslims that own this company or that company with that accent. Yes, I accept Islam, da-da-da-da-da. And all the people are wearing them out, are in ruku. You don't think they'll be in ruku? I went over to Dar al-Hijra, and at that time, this is 25 years ago, but the head of the whole thing was, they had an old congressman over there. This was a lying congressman. I can't remember what he told them, but it was something like how he became a politician, a priest or something. He said, well, when I was born, they put a Bible, and he said if he picks up that Bible, why, he'll become a preacher, right? They said they put a bottle of alcohol in there, right? And they said if he pick up that bottle, he's going to become an alcoholic. And then they put something else in there. I forget what it was, but it was the alcohol, the bottle, and money, or something like that. So if he pick up the money, something or other, he'll become a banker or something like that. He said, what I did was, I picked up the alcohol, put it under this arm. I picked up the Bible, put it under the other arm. And I picked up the money and put it in my pocket, and I became a politician. Y'all remember that? The guy, this is a famous Kyrie right across the street. And the Muslims, ha, 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 I said, you fool, he telling you. He treating you like dummies. And what was so bad about it was the head of the movement, the head of the whole Masjid. I'm not going to say it was Dar al-Hijra over, but it was over that way. And here was the guy, he was so in awe of this preacher, or this liar, he was putting Prophet Muhammad in the place of Allah, and Allah in the place of Prophet Muhammad when he's talking and he's stuttering because he's so in awe of this clown. They told him the truth. He said, I took all of that. I am an alcoholic. I took all that. I drank like a fish, right? And money, I love money, right? And the Bible, whatever, I'm going to use whatever it takes to make me a success in this life. And I became a preacher. I became a politician. In other words, I use all of them, right? So that's the environment that we're living in. And the Muslims are in awe of them. And they feel like their religion, their way of life is second class, and they want to be validated by those people. Another one of the most famous one of them right now, big old chugga-lugga looking guy. First name is Yusuf. I ain't going to tell you his last name. Big old Euro. I'm not against Euros, but I'm against Muslims bowing down to Euros when they should stand up and the people will take their religion and love it instead of bowing down, and they acting like they're doing the Muslims a favor by accepting Islam. Yeah, that's the way the Muslims, when I say the Muslims, I'm talking about the majority of the Muslims in the United States with the biggest, most beautiful Masjid. Now, the African American is not all the way like that. Because if you see, I remember I was watching one thing, this European lady, she's down in Texas, accepted Islam, and she was walking back and forth at prayer time, straightening the lines, and she touched the African American sister. She flinched like she was mad. Because I'm not saying I knew what she was thinking, but here's this white woman that accepted Islam 3 days ago, and now she's a professional. Everybody's straightening their line, and she's going down like she's a drill sergeant, touching people and the Muslims are happy for it. A Euro can accept Islam, and in 2 weeks he'll be giving khutbahs and he'll be giving lectures all over on Islam. Anybody see that happen? They do it every day. They do it as normal. And the poor Negro, well, he didn't have it bad because half of the Negroes, the Islamic movement amongst black people have been hit hard by the system, by the Zionists and the Americans, to the point that most of them are tattletales. And most of them go around, all the immigrants and the foreigners, and they act a fool on purpose so that the people will say, oh, that's what Islam, that's what the African American. And see, they don't see us. And when they do hear about it, they tell them a special story about us. Now those guys, those are Afrocentric, borderline Muslims, full of hatred and anger. Yeah, that's what they say about us. That don't make me know this. Anyway, so in going along today, I had to open with that part. This day have I perfected for you your religion and chosen for you al-Islam as a way of life. I want to mention a couple of more. This is from Surah Yusuf. O my sons, go ye and inquire about Joseph and his brothers, and never give up hope of Allah's soothing mercy. Truly, no one despairs of Allah's soothing mercy except those who have no faith. Ya baniya adhabu fahassasu min Yusufu, or min Yusuf. O my sons, that means go and inquire about Yusuf. Now this is way down in Surah Yusuf, where Yusuf been gone now for a long time. He been gone almost. He's a grown man, and he's just about deputy pharaoh or deputy king. You got to remember, there's a difference about pharaoh and the king. During the time of Moses is Pharaoh. Read the Quran. During the time of Yusuf is Al-Malik. Sometime I'll go over the history of that. But at that time, there had been a nationalist rebellion in Egypt. And the exterior king who was kind of like Yusuf's people, was ruling over Egypt during that time. When I say exterior, it means right up the street, right up there, in the middle, still in the Middle East and all of that. And then during Pharaoh's time, it's Pharaoh. But in Yusuf, you don't never find, they don't refer to the people during Yusuf's time, right, as Pharaoh. Read the Quran. Anyway, this is a good point. O my sons, go ye and inquire about Yusuf and his brother, and never give up hope of Allah's soothing mercy. This is a command that could have been decades old. Go and inquire about Yusuf and his brother. Why? He's been gone so long, who even remembers? Barely we remember the guy, the brothers, right? But now their father has given them an order to go and inquire about Yusuf and his brother. For none gives up hope of Allah's soothing mercy, but those that have no faith. This is especially important for us here in America, because people around the world have been through their struggles, but we here on this continent, especially the African American community, have been through change after change after change. I mean, unbelievable. Other people have had their changes. Why do you think we naturally, if there's something going on in Afghanistan, why do you think we relate to them people already? Because we've been dealing with it here, right? If AFRICOM going all over Africa making trouble, why do we relate to them? If they kill a lady in Palestine the other day, and she's a nice Christian lady, why would we automatically relate to her, right? Because all the Negroes is Christians and everybody's getting shot down in the street like last week, right? Up in Buffalo, right? That's horrible what they're doing, because this is unconstitutional. It ain't no unconstitutional. What do you think police departments were formed for? Has anybody read the history of police departments in America? Why were they formed? Can anybody tell us? Slave patrols. Slave patrols in America police departments was formed for slave patrols, and they still doing exactly what they was formed for. To patrol niggas. They drive through the white neighborhood and wave. And if white folks have trouble, they'll call them. At least they used to. They're getting wise now. But white folks the police is in there protecting the white neighborhood. Right? And they in here as a colonial power to rule over us. That's what they was made for. That's what they do. And so everybody, we got to change the policing policy. The police are doing what they was designed for. Then and now. To patrol you people. Right? That's what they're doing. Isn't that right? So this is, go and inquire about Joseph and his brother, and never give up hope of Allah's soothing mercy. For none gives up hope of Allah's soothing mercy, but those that have no faith. In other words, for us, it would be faithless if we gave up hope. And it would be a crime, too. And it would be a sign of temporary insanity, too. Because no matter how bad we got it here, if you want it worse, go to Yemen. You'll get you. Right? Go to Iran, where they're doing a pretty good job, but they still, every day is something from the Zionists. Right? Go to Palestine. You know how nice your Ramadan was? Suppose every day you're trying to go to Masjid al-Aqsa, right? And the Zionists are there trying to slaughter some old Zionist lamb or something in your third holiest place, right? And it's okay. Or if they slaughter, like if they kill a Negro here in America, if the Zionists kill an Arab, so what? They're not even going to have no investigation. The Zionists, right? It's just like, why would you have an investigation here when the police was doing what he was trained to do? Kill Negroes. Now, I want you to put yourself in our place. We come up here in America knowing that, and everybody think we crazy. And why you don't see nobody in there? Because they went all around and they talked to the Muslims, and they told them whatever they needed to tell them to keep them away from here. If they were semi-short pants wearing, they'd have told them they're not on the haq, they're not on the sunnah. If there's another group, they might tell them, oh, those guys is borderline Shias over there. Right? They told everybody whatever it would take them to not come here. Some people, they would technically run them away. And it took several years, but pretty soon it got around. And I don't care if Ramadan, we had the best food, everybody already know that, in the city. Way best, as much as you can eat it. I'm telling you, it's dripping with butter and just all. I know I don't eat it much because I'm trying to stay in my clothes, a little bit. Because if I ate it like I know what I prepared it, I would be big as a house, right? And I don't know how the Muslims here, they eat these plates, and they can't catch the foreigners, though, because the foreigners got everybody, especially the Arabs. I don't know how they do it. I mean, they be having, and then they get up for Taraweeh and pray all them rakats. If I ate that much food, I would have to go immediately and lay down, knocked out. They've been trained to avoid struggle, sleep all night, all day, party, go to this, that, and other during Ramadan, right? And go home right after Fajr and sleep all day. When they wake up, it's time. That's just a custom. I'm not saying all the Arabs do it, but a lot of them tell the truth. A lot of them, that's their way. And I don't blame them, as hot as it is over there. If it was 120 degrees, you'd do that too, probably. But anyway, let me move on. So Allah is saying in here, go and inquire about Joseph and his brothers, because none gives up hope in Allah except those that don't have no faith. Now I want to read one more before closing. This is my personal. I just kind of like it. Moses said, "O my Lord, expand my breast, ease my task for me, and remove the impediment from my speech, so that they may understand what I say." Musa alayhi salam stuttered. "And give me a minister from my family," that's Harun. Harun, my brother, add to my strength through him, and make him share my task, that we may celebrate thy praise without stint, and remember thee without stint. For thou art he that ever regardeth us. Allah said, "Granted thy prayer, O Moses, And indeed, we conferred a favor on thee another time before. Behold, we sent thy mother by inspiration the message, throw the child in the chest and throw the chest in the river. The river will cast him upon the bank, and he will be taken up by one who is an enemy to me and an enemy to him. But I cast the garment of love over thee from me, and this in order that thou mayest be reared under my own eyes. Behold, thy sister goeth forth and saith, shall I show you one who will nurse and rear the child? So he brought thee back to thy mother, that her eyes might be cool, and she should not grieve. Then thou didst slay it, we saved thee from trouble, and we tried thee in various ways. Then didst thou tarry a number of years with the people of Midian. Then didst thou come hither as ordained, Moses. And I have prepared thee for myself for service. Go thou and thy brother with my signs, and slacken not either of you in keeping me in remembrance. Okay, this is kind of my favorite because, there's actually the whole Quran is your favorite. But this is given a rendition of a story that all of us would probably recognize, especially most of us came to Islam. And so it's about a person who was in need of hidayah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him the guidance and set him on the path from the very beginning. That's why in here it says that I've been watching out for you all along, because Moses is asking for something, and Allah says, granted, you got that covered. I got that covered. I'm gonna look out for you. But then Allah is telling him, I've been had you covered all the time. Ever since you've been here, when you was a baby, I told your mother. Now, the word wahi is used for this person that was a woman. And usually wahi is used for inspiration to usually 99% of the time, a male who is wahi, receives revelation, right? In this case, is called inspiration. Allah inspired her, throw that boy in the water. And then the sister will follow it. And in other words, all the perils, who would throw their baby in the water, but place this person in danger in order to rescue him. Sometimes you and I will be placed in the highest level of danger in order to rescue us with skill, so that when we deal with other people, we'll have the skill. They can't say, well, you don't have the skill there, brother. You ain't never been rich, so you don't know the pull. Well, if you just look at the things, you'll find that this is the richest Negro that was in California in those days. Well, Northern California. There's plenty of big rich Negroes in those days. They didn't keep the money. The white man gave him the game and gave him the thing to do. And as soon as he finished using them, he took all the money back and put them all in the penitentiary. That's the game, right? Superfly, the first Superfly was not a happenstance. They had been doing it all along, but that showed everybody exactly what to do. Do you know, when I was on the run and I was getting ready to make a move, on the way to make a move, if you can find the article, it was in 1972 Newsweek in a magazine. Guess what it showed? How to go to South America, form a cocaine smuggling operation, and send it back to America. Superfly came out at the same time. Everybody was getting prepared for it, and I was on the run from America. And I think I read it on the airplane when I was coming from Paris going to Mexico to get back busy again. And here's an article. It was either that time or 2 months later that lays out exactly what I got in my mind. I'm just telling you, boss man is with the Negroes. Boss man is guiding the Negroes. And if you follow him, you're going to go his way. The only thing is, during the first misguidance, which we're trying to recover from then, we enter the second guidance that turns into a semi-misguidance. So the first misguidance is the niggas are black nationalists thinking, so we're going to snatch him out of the ranks and make him rich. Once you make him rich, he's going to hate all of the Negroes and he's going to do this, that, and another. And it didn't work. We happened to open East Oakland Enterprises, and we wanted to make, well, if we can be rich, we'll do it where all other niggas can be rich. Because that's what didn't work. So boss man was mad. He said, I'll get rid of this nigga. So boss man, just like he closed this down almost, all the businesses we had, we own 8 pieces of property here. We own. And we own several in California, in Oakland. It didn't make no difference. Out of all the businesses I own, when boss man say, okay, it's closing time, I'm the most popular man in town, but ain't nobody coming by, ain't nobody don't want to know nothing. In the town you're born and raised in, boss man cut you off. So it ain't no surprise I wasn't born and raised in D.C. So if you look like this is a small crew, it ain't no big deal. In 71, it was the same thing. Then when we cranked up, coming into Islam, no big deal. He did it in Oakland. You get rolling, isolate you, cut you off. Then we came here in 89. And it ain't nobody, the place should be full of people. Why? Because nobody in D.C. was able to acquire as much property, and we paid for it all cash, as anybody. Don't nobody do that. Why? Because niggas don't know about money management. But we knew about money management very well. As good as anybody. Why? Because we done been through this before. So boss man done hit our money 5 times. And we ain't broke yet. You know why? Because you learn in the Jahiliyyah, you got to have money 5 levels deep, at least. How deep does niggas' money? 1 level. You get the top surface, he's dead. The smart ones, they got 2 levels of backup. The real smart ones, you batter them, and they keep going to some money. That means that their money was 3 levels deep. They are the top of the line. So suppose you got money 5 levels deep. By the time he done got tired of taking your money and causing you trouble, you still got 2 levels of money left. What does that mean? That means the boss man, We ain't going to call him the white man because he's got niggas with him too. Negroes, Arabs, Afghans, he got everybody with him. And you know where they going? They're all going down. Have you read the news lately? Boss man, if you saw my t-shirt here, it says, boss man bites the dust. We've been saying that for years. That means we're living in a time. And we are doing our job in this time. The job we have selected this job. We have chosen this job. Nobody wants it. Everybody want to get more money and stuff like that. Well, if it was going to make somebody happy, America would be the happiest place in the world. Hollywood, wouldn't it be the happiest place in the world? Everybody in Hollywood got a psychiatrist. Everybody in Hollywood is unhappy. You know why? They got all the material in the world, and they look just like, you see they pictured, this is the most beautiful lady in the world. Right? And that's what everybody think. Well, why ain't they happy? They got all the money. They picture on every magazine. Right? Why ain't they happy? Why we get a Negro win the Academy Award and he go punch another brother? What's the name told him what it was? It says the devil. Probably in Hollywood, there's one guy got the Holy Ghost out there, I think. He gives lectures. The one we all know. What's his Denzel. Denzel Washington you would call him a good Christian. You know what Denzel said? He says there are no U-Hauls behind a hearse. You know what that means? This is a motivate. He was talking to the young people, young black people. There's no U-Hauls behind a hearse. In other words, you can't take it with you. You cannot take whatever you acquire here. You ain't taking your degree. You ain't taking none of that. Right? So you might as well, what he was telling him, you might as well do good, man. Enjoy this. If you don't enjoy this, it looks kind of funny for the future. This is what he's telling them. So he told the guys after they acted a fool at the thing, he said the devil made you do that. And everybody was kind of grinning at him. It was the devil. Slipped up on him. He getting ready to get the biggest award in the United States, right? And he up there paranoid about Tupac being more man than he was. And Tupac died 100 years ago, well, 20 years ago, right? Can you imagine? And that jumped out of his mind and out of his heart right at that time. Because he don't have no self-control. He play heroes, but it's different playing a hero. Tell the truth, he played nothing but heroes. Playing a hero is different than being one. Let me get on. The message I want to leave today is this. One more thing I wanted to say about the shaitan and in people acting funny, like one of the imams, Imam Zainul Abidin, the fourth imam. He went to prayer and everything. Somebody stole his shoes, right? So he said, may Allah make them halal for him. He said, man, some dirty Arab stole my shoes, right? And they got to be praying because they coming here to the Masjid. He said, may Allah make it halal for him. Our message for our people right here today is that those people that the government send by to act a fool and to annoy you, they are messengers from the hereafter. Let me say that again. The more they annoy you, like we got a favored annoyer that comes here. And everybody want, keep that person out, get out of here, you got it. No problem. Why? Those people are messengers from the hereafter. Because in order for you to get real big, you have to grow big spiritually, psychologically, and you have to be able to put up with people that you don't agree with. Isn't that right? That's a simple thing. So Allah sent you clowns, buffoons, and idiots to act up. And they're sent to help you expand and to grow. Right? If you expand and if you grow, you escape the gravitational pull of the satanic forces of the world. If you succumb to them, you'll never, they're sent here as a measuring stick, and they act the way that you don't want people to act, right? Right? They'll send them here in Ramadan, and they'll act stupid as stupid can be, right? And you thinking, man, my Ramadan, I want to do Taraweeh prayer, and I want peace. Well, going over to Palestine where the Zionists are there killing you and shooting you, you ain't not only going to get your Taraweeh prayer in, you ain't going to get in the Masjid. And they're going to be there with Zionist boots on to bust you upside the head, right? We got it good here. We'll close with this. America, we have to design the warfare for this is psycho-spiritual warfare. And I'm going to explain psycho-spiritual warfare, and I'm going to close. If you think I'm lying, I'm going to leave. And people be still just walking in the door. Psycho-spiritual warfare. Psycho, mind. Right? And they say that most illness is psychosomatic. 65% psychological and 35% somatic. This is what they say, that most of illnesses is psychological, not somatic, not the body. America's hold over people is more psychological. The dream of getting rich, the dream, and the fear of the America the Great. Well, we do that backwards. We make fun of boss man and we make fun of the Zionists. They're a bunch of dummies. They're a bunch of historical dummies. To read all of them books and have all the historical realities, whether you read the Bible, whether you read the Quran, whether you read Bhagavad Gita, whether you read Toynbee's history, rise and fall, or whoever, the Roman Empire, don't make no difference. They all say the same thing. So people know what's going on, but they don't adhere to what's good for them. Remember, psycho-spiritual warfare. So that means the United States at this period of history is weak psychologically. You don't have to worry about him. Everything he's doing, what is he doing? Taking himself down. Everywhere in the news, all alliances, everything he's doing, all in Europe. If you listen to his news, you think he's winning. You think we're doing this for the Ukrainians. And then if you listen to that, if you don't listen to back home news, you'll be taken in by that dumb stuff. You'll be thinking he's the hero and he's winning. Hey, you better listen to somebody else's news, because this boy is making every mistake in the book. Psycho-spiritual. So at the end of an empire, whether it's the British, whether it's the Romans, they're shattered and disorganized. Basically, they're weak. Everything that was taking them up as an empire is shattered. The fever of immigrant, the work ethic, slaughtering all the Indians, all of that got America up, up, up. And no matter how much wrong he did, he just kept going up till Allah flipped the switch. And now he's headed down. And boss man going down. It don't make no difference what he do. The boss man is technically gone. The question is, where will we wind up in that period? Spiritual. If he's weak psychologically, what about spiritually? He dead. So what do you fight your enemy with? Stuff you don't have. Or if you want to be a dummy, go get a bomb on an airplane and fight against boss man. And he got 50 million of those things, and you won't get around the corner, right? Always go up against your enemy with things that they don't have. At this period, he's psychologically weak, and he's spiritually defunct. He don't have no spirit in him. And anybody that's got in the spirit, he's going to try to corral them, put them in the penitentiary, or run them to the poorhouse. That's boss man. Remember, in closing, fitna that happens here is not bad for you. It's good for you. It's training ground for paradise. So if you find somebody walking in here, hey, this is, recognize them. Oh, you're a help as a badge against fitna and foolishness. Allah sent you here as a fool, and you're going to act a fool to make me mad. No, I'm greeting you. Welcome, fool. Hey, this is the biggest fool. Well, I'll be doggone. Look at this fool here. Why, this is the biggest fool. I haven't seen a fool this big in 35 years. Go on, do something foolish. Let's see you. Right? This is what we're teaching the brothers here now, because they see something dumb happen. We don't want you to come here. Come on in. Act a fool. Go ahead. Let's see what you're going to do. It's like the people you ever, I guess y'all got them phones. They I close. You get a phone, your phone, it says scam likely. Right? Do y'all phone do that? It says scam likely. This is likely a scam. Other people don't answer it. Hey, scam likely? What's your scam today? And I get my seat. Well, what you up to? What you got today? That's what I do. And I do just like people do in here. I just laugh. I have a good time. Sometimes they paralyze. They be paralyzed. What did this nigga say? Or sometimes you just act a fool. Are you over 70 years old? So have a good time with people. They gonna act stupid and call you. I go into the old Negro mode. Yes, I declare, I sure am. I'm 77 years old. How old are you? And then they sit there and listen. I said, Lord, have mercy. You called me here and you knew you called and you talking about people, do you have back trouble? How you know I had back trouble? Lord, have mercy. You got to have fun with people. Don't sit up there mad at everybody for treating you like a fool. Get in that act a fool with them and show them you just a petty fool. Boy, look here, you messing with me. I'm the biggest fool in town, not you. And have a good time. It's going to happen to you anyway. Turn it for that's what psycho-spiritual is. Psychological. Up here. Spiritual. Boss man ain't got no spirit. Tell the truth. Wallah, we seek thy refuge from anxiety and grief. We seek thy refuge from lack of strength and laziness. We seek thy refuge from cowardice and ungodliness. And we seek thy refuge from being overpowered by debt and the oppression of men. O Allah, suffice us with what is lawful. Keep from us what is prohibited. With thy grace, make us free from want of what is beside thee. Ameen. Ikamat salam.